Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope everyone had a great spring break and you were able to recharge your own batteries and recharge your Chromebook batteries, and I hope you're ready for another week of learning. This week we are going to be focusing on this book called The First Drawing by Mordecai Gerstein. This is a story about the very first cave drawings that were discovered in a cave in France about 30,000 years ago. It's really interesting to think about who invented drawing and who made the first drawings. So this book takes a look at that and what life was like back then. The First Drawing by Mordecai Gerstein. Some of the oldest drawings ever found were made more than 30,000 years ago in a cave in southern France. In that same cave is the footprint of an 8-year-old child. Alongside it, the footprint of a wolf. The first drawing. Imagine you were born before the invention of drawing, more than 30,000 years ago. You live in a cave with your parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, and many cousins, and your wolf shadow. It's a big cave. You love to watch animals. You see them everywhere. You see them at the river where they come to drink. Horses, giant elk, reindeer, woolly rhinoceroses, bears, sometimes lions, and more. You sit and watch them for hours. You see the grand white and gray clouds that drift over the valley. Their ever-changing shapes look to you like a parade of animals. Papa, that cloud looks just like a woolly mammoth. It looks to me, says your father, like a cloud. When collecting stones for spearheads and knives, you think some look like animals too. Mama, this stone looks like a bear. To me, says your mother, it looks like a stone. You wonder, why can't they see what I see? At night, wrapped in deer skins, you see shadow images of all the animals again in the firelight, flickering over the bumps and hollows of the cave walls. And they seem to move. Look, Mama, galloping horses. What horses? Go to sleep. Papa, Grandpa, there on the ceiling, elk. There are no elk. Go to sleep. Sisters, brothers, cousins, don't you see the rhinoceros? No, shouts everyone. Now go to sleep. They call you child who sees what isn't there. How can you make them see what you see? Every night you watch the animals on the walls, then you dream you're running with them, like one of them. One morning, you're out with your father searching for stones. You wander off around a hill of huge boulders. You look up and see, right in front of you, a woolly mammoth. It's not made of lights and shadows or clouds. You can smell it, warm and musky. It sniffs you with its trunk, then stands perfectly still. So do you. You're afraid to move. It's like a fur-covered mountain with eyes that look into yours. You look back, and in those eyes, you see that being a mammoth might not be so different from being you. The mammoth sighs through its trunk, and like a mountain walking, it turns and slowly lumbers away. You begin to breathe again. Papa, right in front of me, a woolly child, your father sighs. What are we going to do with you? That night, in front of the fire, as your eyes begin to close, you see an image on the wall, so big and so real, you sit up and say, "Yow!" Huh? Says your father. "What's wrong?" says your mother. "Look, on the wall, it looks like it's breathing." "There's nothing," they say. "Go to sleep." "But look, the tail, the tusks, why don't you see it?" Now everyone is awake. There's nothing to see. Go to sleep. How can I make you see, he thinks. So boys and girls, why do you think this little boy is seeing all these things? It seems to me like he has something that I know many of you have. Imagination. How can he make his family see what he sees? Without thinking, you leap out of bed, take a burnt stick from the fire, and you run to the wall. Look, here's the tail, here the back legs. You make marks on the bumpy wall to show them where to look. And the back, the front legs, the ears, the eye watching us, its trunk, its tusks. "Stop!" shouts your father. He aims his spear at the wall. Everyone huddles by the doorway, the wide-eyed children clutching their parents' legs. I can see it, gasps your father. This is magic. "No, Papa," you say, "I'm just showing you." And you look at what you've done. You have made the world's first drawing. Yes, you say, it is magic. Now everyone can see what you see, and so you make more drawings. You show your parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, and cousins how to draw too. For thousands of years, people keep drawing. Even today, people are still doing it. And that's how, if you had been around more than 30,000 years ago, you might have invented drawing. And it's still magic. The end. I do want to read in the very back of this book, there's an author's note. So an author's note is when an author decides that he or she wants to add more information, maybe about what inspired them to write this book. So this is a note from Mordecai Gerstein. I'm going to read some of it. It's a little bit long. So he says, the author, in 1994, a cave was discovered in southern France. On its walls were drawings made more than 30,000 years ago, 15,000 years older than any other drawings known at the time. They weren't simple drawings as one would expect. If anything, this new work was more beautiful and elegant than what was done later. In the same cave, a human footprint was found, that of an 8-year-old child. This story is my imagined version of how and why drawing was invented. Drawing is the method we have to show others what we see and how we feel about what we see. It's a way to explore and share the vast, invisible world of our imaginations. And to me, that is magic. And here is a picture from that cave. It's a rhinoceros, right from the cave that inspired this story. Hopefully you can see that. So I just love this idea of the author reading about something in history and coming up with a story behind it. I often think about what it was like for cave people to, have discovered drawing. So for the activity this week, you need paper, tape, and something to draw with. Crayons, markers, pen, pencil, anything you can find. So if we think about how cave drawings were made, they were made against a wall. So I want you to find either a wall outside your house or somewhere inside your house. Tape your paper on the wall and pretend that you are making one of those very first drawings. What would you draw? Use your imagination and look at the world around you. Maybe go outside, look at the sky and see if you see any images in the clouds, or look at a tree. Do you see anything in the tree? Use your imagination and think about what one of those early drawings might be, and try to do it when it's hung up on a wall, just the way cave people would have done their drawings on the walls of their caves. I hope you have fun with this activity, and I would love to see what you do. You can email me, or you can send it via Flipgrid. I'll set that up right below the story link. Also, on my website, there are some links for live poetry readings that I'll be doing all week. So check that out as well with your parents' permission. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow with the new story. Have a great day.